Hi everyone, so we're gonna be focusing on, no surprise, shoulders on day one. So a lot of people really do not like working shoulders. I love them, they're my favorite to work. That doesn't mean they're not challenging. So I want you to take your light pair, your medium pair, and your heavy pair of dumbbells, have them accessible to you. We're gonna be focusing on 4 sets of about 10 reps, okay? If you can push out 12 reps of an exercise, please go up to the next dumbbell size, okay? If you can only push out 8, that's okay. But if you're like really struggling with form on 8, maybe drop down so that you can hit your 10. So 4 sets of 10 of every single exercise. I will break a little bit to kind of chat with you in between sets. But if I don't take like a full 45 seconds or more in between, I would suggest you do that. Sometimes I just might be like blah, 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 and then go back to my next set for recording. So I'm gonna get my dumbbells and I will be attaching a playlist. I know that YouTube and stuff doesn't really allow music to be attached if it's copyrighted. So like, you're just gonna get me talking. And the more you are used to the layout, you're gonna be able to mainly turn me way down and just have your music blaring and just watch the exercises. I'll also be listing in the caption the exercise, how many sets and reps. So maybe you're like, I don't wanna hear you at all. I just wanna see what we're doing. So there you go. Okay, so first of all, we just moved to a new house and the people before us left their Bowflex dumbbells. Yeah, so that's what we're using today. Okay, so have your dumbbells ready, but I don't want you to use those right yet. I just want you to do some shoulder openers. So I really want to bring your hands together, bring them back, together, and back. Really, you're just kind of opening up, because I don't know what time of day you're doing this workout. Everyone's different. You could be just waking up, which many of you you're probably early in the morning, or maybe you've had a long day, maybe you've been sitting at your desk. So now I just want you to alternate here, backwards, almost like you're doing a backstroke in the pool. Yeah. The last thing that you want to do, and you're going to learn this on your own, and you're going to learn what your body needs, what it wants, what makes it feel good. Maybe you need to take extra stretches, reverse. But the last thing you're going to want to do is go into things cold. So especially if you've been sitting for a long time or if you've been sleeping, you don't want to just get up and just start lifting weights, okay? You don't want to do that. Okay, yeet, one right here. Just bring that elbow back. You're almost like patting yourself on the back here. Oh, my triceps are tight. Switching over. There. So all upper body today. Nothing crazy at all, I promise. Good. Release, do a couple of neck rolls one side. Every time I do this, I'm reminded how much I need to do this. Switch. I'm always like, I'm so tired, I should do this all the time. And then I don't do it again until the next time. Okay, so the first thing that we're gonna focus on is lateral raises. Yay. So many people need to start with their lighter pair of dumbbells, whatever that means to you. And if you want to list in the group what you're using, that would be kind of helpful, but no pressure there either. So you might want to start with your lighter dumbbells. We're aiming for 10 reps at a time, okay? So my feet are about hip width apart. I'm keeping my dumbbells at the side. What I like to tell clients is you're aiming to push your dumbbells toward the corner of the room, okay? I have a slight bend in my knee and I'm not leaning forward too much, just slightly, okay? So I'll show you the exercise with each set kind of from a different angle. So front angle here, you're just lifting up to the corners of the room, just like that. And what you're gonna wanna do too is pull the shoulders down, okay? So you're not wanting anything like this. Okay, you don't want that. That means it's time to lose a little bit of the weight. Okay, maybe drop down in size. That's 3, 2, and 1. I didn't start my watch. Another thing you're gonna wanna do or not do, so obviously shoulders coming up, you can correct that by pulling them back. But another one that I see a lot is the swinging. Okay, so I'm gonna show you on the next set kind of what that might look like. So, swinging here, you don't wanna use your body to lift up the weights, okay? That means you're not ready for that weight. That's okay, pull back. So we're going again for 10 reps here. Let's do. I really like these. I've always looked them up on the internet, and I've always been like, there's no way I'm spinning that. I didn't have to. Perfect. Finishing up that 10, and take a rest. So, heart rate will get up. You're gonna be breathy. That's all right. I'm outside in a hot garage too, so hey, heart rate. But there are some exercises, especially if they're seated or on the floor, laying down, your heart rate will drop. That's normal, okay? Your heart rate's not always gonna be super high, and I'm talking or sometimes singing, so that also makes it go up a little bit. I'm gonna show the next set from the side here, okay? So from the side here, again, you'll see that slight bend, slight forward, but not a lot. Aiming for the corners of the room. And obviously form, we want it to look good. We're never gonna have perfection, okay? So I don't want you to overthink these moments either. 2 more. Especially whenever maybe you move up in weight. So if you move up in weight and you're like, oh, my shoulders are coming up to my ears just a little bit, that's okay. I don't want you to, because I also have clients who they get so in their head over form being absolutely perfect that it just like really gets in their head and just messes them up. So I don't want you to overthink it either, okay? So if you're like going up in weight for the first day and you got a little bit of that, it's all right. Like, you're gonna live, you're gonna get the benefits, it's gonna be okay. Okay, the goal here is to try our best and not overthink, okay? All right, I am going to actually probably show you maybe what it looks like from the back on this last set. Can you believe this is gonna be our 4th set? So just so that you can see kind of like a different perspective, maybe with my arms and elbows. How is that? Yeah. Okay, so slight lean forward, shoulders are drawn back, going for 10. One more. Perfect. So those were lateral raises. Write down, so we did 4 sets of 10 today. Write down the weight that you used. And again, as time goes on, you might even have to get some different dumbbells from Academy or something. Or you can get these Bowflex ones. I'm not even sponsored, but these switch. You can make them all the way from like 10 pounds all the way up to like 50 with just 1 set, so it doesn't take up a lot of space. Okay, so next thing that we're gonna do, switching it up a little bit, frontal raises. I like to alternate mine. You don't have to. I would recommend your light dumbbells maybe for the first set, see how your shoulder is feeling, okay? And then maybe moving up to the medium next, all right? All right, and we will have some body weight shoulder stuff later. Okay, so we're going with frontal raises. You do not have to alternate. You can absolutely do these together. So when you do them together, it's here. I just like to alternate. We're sticking with 4 sets of 10, okay? So as you can see, there is a slight bend in my elbow, but it's not extreme, okay? It's not like a 90-degree or anything. And my arms also aren't completely locked out and straight. And I'm just letting the dumbbells rest on my upper thigh. No pressure here. And the same idea goes for this exercise when it comes to your shoulders coming too far up to your ears. Yeah, just like this. You don't want your shoulders obviously hugging your ears, but you're also gonna see a little bit of a raise, and that's okay. Perfect. Also, you're gonna notice that I'll start talking to you and I'll end up doing like 15 reps on accident. My apologies. So, same here as the lateral raises. You don't want here, okay? Obviously, you're gonna see a little bit of a raise, a little bit of pop up in that shoulder. That's okay, but you don't want it too far up. That's why I don't like using two, because I feel like anytime I use two, I automatically start swinging my body. Some people don't have that issue. I feel like that I do, so I always alternate so that I can have some control and also kind of focus on that one shoulder that I'm doing. So either way, together or separate, make sure you are not swinging. It's the same with those laterals. We're not using our body like this to lift the weight. We're not using our legs. Our legs are planted, okay? Slight bend in the knees. We're tall, our core is strong. We're really controlling to make sure it's all in that shoulder, okay? Okay. Well, that was my bench, guys. All right. I know this will be a lot more fun for you guys when you have music blaring and not me, but yeah. Or maybe I'm entertaining. I could be nice and slow and controlled here. I see a lot of people rush through exercises, and I mean, that can be for a variety of reasons, but I know one of those reasons can be, you know, they get disheartened or discouraged by maybe their heart rate's not up super high, and so they try and make it into some sort of cardio workout, and they're like, let me just lift these weights even faster. I'm like, please don't. Okay. So, really focusing on controlling the muscle. Yeah. And again, you're also gonna see on our cardio days, that'll be a little bit different. You'll have more exercises and everything will be like fast moving. But on the strength days, you're gonna see, oh, hey, like, we didn't do 10 exercises. No, we didn't. Like, that's not necessary. If you are really pushing yourself on the weight and you are taking your recoveries, you only need about 4 or 5 exercises for a 30-minute workout, okay? And that's not including if you're doing a warm-up or if you're stretching afterwards, which I recommend as well. I mean, with a warm-up and a cool down, you're probably looking at 40 minutes total. So if your work time is 30 minutes, yeah. Also, I wanna say that if you're like, oh, I have more than 30 minutes a day, you can absolutely add on exercises that you like to make it 45 minutes. You can even maybe, what I would say is go through the whole 30 minutes and then start from the top on the first exercise. I should stop talking. Start from the top on the first exercise and then do like one set to failure of every exercise to finish off. That can be a fun finisher. We'll do that in a workout at some point, but I will make some deposits in the relationship before I ask you to do anything that makes you hate me, okay? And to failure, I mean, you're basically pushing the reps to a point where you're like, okay, I can't really lift the weights anymore, not with good form, so I've got to call it. And when you've already been lifting for 30 minutes, that's probably not going to take that much. I will say that around the second or third set of whatever exercise that you're doing, you should be able to tell, like fatigue-wise, form-wise, all of that stuff, if you are ready to go up in weight. Usually the second set or so is whenever I'm like, all right, I could do something a little bit different. I probably lost count on you again. That's all right. take a rest. So take a moment and think about where you are in time right now. So I started my watch late. So after this next set, we will basically be halfway. So like, let that sink in, okay? 30 minutes is not very long. So when you're in your 30 minutes, I want you to be tapped in. You should be kind of sounding like this whenever you're talking, or just not talking, dancing. But this won't work unless you push yourself. I don't want you to be afraid that you're gonna get bulky or anything like that, okay? Like it takes a lot of food and a lot of some other things for you to put on a bunch of muscle mass. I lift multiple days a week, some days pretty heavy. I'm also an avid runner. I do it to be strong. That's why I do it. I do it because it also makes me a better runner, and yeah. So I don't want you to think that you're gonna get bulky or anything. You're gonna get strong. Your body is going to look great, and it's gonna look how it's supposed to look. So, and that's also another thing to keep in mind for this program is, yeah, we're all doing the same workouts, but guess what? We're all gonna use different weights. What's hard for one person might not be hard for another, or vice versa. And also, you're never gonna look like somebody else. That is like one of the most important lessons that I probably ever learned on my fitness journey, and I wish I could have learned it sooner, was it does not matter if you do the same workouts as somebody else, if you eat the same foods, if you do the same amount of steps, like it doesn't matter. You're never gonna look like somebody else. Your body is never gonna look like somebody else's body. It's gonna look like yours, and that's great. So you're gonna tap into your own version of strong through this program. Paired with macros and lifting, and I would recommend 10,000 steps a day, okay? Perfect. Great. Okay, so like I said, I recommend even on days that you are not doing this or not doing cardio or anything else that you enjoy doing. I know some of you are runners, so even on days that you're not running, all right, go for a walk. Like, I go for a walk every day, and that is all for this, okay? But yes, mental health walks all the way. So next thing that we're gonna do, you can do these seated or standing, okay? If you have a bench at home, or maybe you do these in the gym, that's okay too. If you have a bench that has a back to it and you wanna use that for this, you absolutely can. It's totally fine. Standing will activate the core muscles a little bit more, but not required. So we're gonna do standing Arnold presses, so light to medium, dumbbells, starting out pinky in. We're gonna flip those up overhead and bring them back down. Still aiming for 10 reps, okay? So bringing those pinkies in here, turning the weights towards each other, overhead, and nice and controlled, bring it back down. There you go. Don't let the elbows drop too much on this move, so not bringing them all the way to the rib cage, okay? I know, I have a short torso, so that's a little difficult, but perfect. It's also okay if you do these kneeling. So that's also an option. I've known a lot of people to just like kneel on their knees and do this. Whatever's comfortable for you is good. After doing those other two shoulder exercises, you'll start to feel this one. That's okay, let it happen. Perfect. So next two sets, I promise to count out loud. Also note, I want you to know that through this program, you are growing with me, okay? So I thought of this idea because I was like, okay, I do virtual training through an app platform, and I do a few in-person sessions. I love those. I'm like, but I feel like there's like just a niche missing for the people that want to be virtual, but they need a face and they need like video guidance here. And something that doesn't break the bank, because I know even right now groceries are expensive, okay? So I know it costs a lot to join the gym. I know it costs a lot to join a studio, to pay a personal trainer to show up in person. That's a lot of money. So we're gonna find an in-between. So going back to those half Arnold presses, I promise to count this time. Yes. And obviously the more that you grow and you get to know me and how I do the videos and all of that stuff, you'll be able to mute me or fast forward through things or whatever, you know, because I'll give tips and I'll pause. Almost there. If you don't make ugly faces when you're lifting or even lifting. Perfect. Take a rest. 2 sets down to that. Over halfway with your workout, by the way. Yes. So, and I want you to know that it's okay also if your breaks are longer. So if you're watching the video and I talk for a little bit and you're like, I need like an extra 30 seconds or more, that is absolutely okay. Your rest periods in between sets are important, okay? Because I want you to be fully rested to lift your next set to its full potential. Because if your mind might be ready for the next set. This is also another thing. I wish I would have known earlier. Your mind might be impatient and it might be like, we're ready for the next set, but your muscles are not, okay? Your heart rate might be low enough to start another set, but your muscles might not be. And you're gonna realize it real quick when you try to start a set too early and you're fatigued when you first start, okay? Like, we don't want that. When we're building strength, when we're building muscle, we wanna go into the next set decently recovered so that we can push all over again, okay? I know, and like if you're a cardio-based person, which that was me, okay? Like that is all I did. All I did was cardio. I never lifted a weight. That is a hard mind switch to have. It's not all about burning calories. It's not all about burning calories. It's not all about burning calories. So there we go. So relieve yourself of that. Let your cardio days be your cardio days and enjoy the lifting with your loud music and your rest periods, okay? Going in, 3rd set. Strict counting, I promise. That's 2, 3, 4, 5. Nice and controlled here. Don't get ahead of yourself. I'm talking to myself too. That's 7, 8, 9, pushing out 1 more. All the way. Good. Take a rest, 1 more set. We are cruising here. Nobody warned you about hot garage workouts. Okay, I'm gonna have to get myself some sort of box fan in here. So we've got 1 more set of these Arnold presses. And then we have a couple more things and then we'll be donezo. I think I can go far enough back to where you'll be able to really see what I'm doing. The only things you'll really be having to probably modify today are the body weight work. We'll do 1 exercise of body weight, and that's something that I'll show a modification for. Just because it can be a little tricky, especially if your shoulders are tired. It is also okay to substitute. So if I like take you through a full workout and then I finish you with a body weight exercise and you're like, ooh, this does not feel good, replace it. Do band work, skip it, hold a plank, whatever you need to do. Keep moving, that's what matters. Okay. Going in. Last set of these Arnold presses. Taking our time anyways. Yep. Perfect. Good. Halfway. Almost there. Make sure you're breathing. I hold my breath all the time and I'm like, no, no, no. One more. Perfect. I'm setting these aside. Okay, next one. I would recommend probably your medium dumbbells, unless you're like, nah girl, my shoulders are already fried. Stick with your light ones. It's just really important that you're writing down what you're using because we can't stick with the same weights forever. So if you go through a month of the subscription and you've been like using the light the whole time, dabble a little bit. Even if you're only doing 1 set at your medium weight and 3 sets at your lighter, it's progress, okay? So we're gonna do 1 more dumbbell exercise and then a body weight exercise. Of course, we're gonna finish with body weights. So, many of you have probably done these before. Slight bend here, we're gonna fly out. So see me from the side, I'm not here, and I'm not here. Like right in the middle. Bring those arms back. So notice I'm not locking out, and I'm not doing this, okay? It's not a row, it's a fly. So when you're right here, slight bend in the elbow, you're not going all the way back. So you're not like trying to swing your arms all the way back. That's not natural, okay? Stay in your natural alignment. Just go out straight out to that regular T, pause, and then back in, okay? Also keeping your shoulders back. I'm gonna show you forward for a set, and then I'm also gonna turn to the side for a set, because I think this one is important for you to see multiple ways. So, front first. Don't wanna hit nothing. So slight bend, sticking with 10 reps, out. That's 3. Halfway. 7. 1 more. And take a rest. Next round, we'll go to the side. Because this one can kind of get just a little bit tricky for people, because I've seen a lot of those things. I've seen a lot of trying to push your arms way too far back. I've seen people standing up too straight, doing that when they need to be bent forward a little bit more. I've seen it all. So the visual is really important here. That is what I think I'm going to love most about this subscription, is you can actually see me doing the movement and explaining it, showing all the different ways, you know, you might be overcompensating, all of that kind of stuff. So, showing you from the side this time for set 2. And again, if you've been lifting for a while, all these exercises you're familiar with, that's okay. I'm here to take the, 1 more, thinking out of your work. So even if you're like, man, I've been doing strength training for years, I'm just tired of having to think of my own program. There, here you go. I will be sure to have a balance. So even though we have shoulders today, the next video will be an all over body. So you'll get different upper body movements, not really shoulders, different upper body movements and lower body movements for your all over body day. And then you'll have your cardio day. And then the next week, it might be different. We might do an all lower body day and then an all over body day, okay? So, all over. And if you're doing this subscription and you're like, hey, I could actually probably handle, you know, an extra strength workout a week instead of just 2 strength, 1 body weight hit. That's fine too. We can work something out together where I give you an extra workout. So I'm gonna go back to the center here for set 3, counting only. Halfway. One more. Take a rest. One more set, and then we have our body weight exercise. And you guys, I also don't have my glasses on, so you should see me right now. I'm trying to see if you can actually see what I'm doing. I think you'll be fine. I might just want to tilt this down for you, if I'm able. Keep getting afraid that I'm just gonna like completely knock all over. Okay, so last set of these, catch your breath, and then you'll have that body weight finisher. Body weight finisher should be hard, okay? And I will show you a modification. Maybe you do half of it unmodified and the other half modified. That's okay, okay? Maybe you mark down, I did these all modified, and then in 2 months you're like, I'm not doing it in the modified. That's growth. Growth is gonna look different for every single person in this program. That's the point. Last set of these, slight bend, shoulders back, chest open. Counting only. Last one. Perfect. Set your dumbbells aside. Glasses on for this one because I need to be able to see how clearly you can see me. See the ring light? I love that. Okay, so I'm going to show you from the side here. We are going to do timed shoulder taps. 4 sets of 30 seconds. I'll be looking at my watch for that. Unmodified, you're gonna get into a plank position first, okay? So you're right here, nice tall plank. I put my feet wider than hips here for this exercise. You're just tapping the shoulder, alternating, just like that. Trying not to do this, okay? Trying to stay still, modification, drop to your knees, walk the hands forward just to touch, still keeping the core strong, and not moving too much, okay? Okay, so first 30 seconds, we're gonna go in 3, 2, and 1. Tapping the shoulders. This is all about control. This is not about speed. I know that can kind of mess with your mind a little bit because we're not really trying to get a certain amount of reps here. It's all about being super stable. And I want those wrists like right underneath the shoulders. You're almost there. That's 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. So we want those wrists like right underneath the shoulders. You don't want them too far, and you don't want them under here, okay? You're just like right there. Take a little rest with these kind of movements. If you want to take as long of a rest as you have during your dumbbell exercises, that's absolutely fine. If you're like, nah, I feel okay to kind of just like catch my breath and then go back into it for 30 seconds. If you need to pause the video, that's what's great about these. You can pause it and do what you need and come back. You can. We're gonna go into another one, okay? We've got 5 seconds until 3, 2, and 1. I'm 30. Nice and controlled. No rush here. You're gonna be at just a hair over 30 minutes of lifting here today. Take your time, less than 10 seconds to go. That's 3, 2, 1. Halfway, we got 2 more sets, and then you're out of here. I will also recommend, I'm not affiliated with her anyway, but I would recommend Yoga with Adriene on YouTube for almost any day that you need stretching. She has short videos, she has long ones, she has lower body, back focused, shoulder focused, hip focused, I mean, everything that you could imagine. So look up her channel, it's all free. You can go on there and literally type in whatever your ailment is and you can stretch. So we're gonna go into another one. I'm gonna go in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. So yeah, she is super great because all of her stuff is free. She's got different series that you can follow, but it's also a nice little add-on. So like, let's say you do your lift and you can already tell you're starting to get tight somewhere. I'd recommend just go ahead and pop on over. Almost there. Give me 3, 2, 1, rest. One more set. So just popping on over there, typing in, you know, like today you could say Yoga with Adriene shoulders, and you could find a neck and shoulders little yoga. So it's pretty awesome. Okay, we're almost on our last set and then we'll be done. Let's give it 10 more seconds and then we'll go in. That's 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's go. Last 30 seconds of your workout right here. Last one, best one, always. Don't rush through, even though it's your last 30. Sticking with the game plan here. Nice and controlled. That core is super tight. There we go. Almost there. Give me 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And you're done. So this was probably a good benchmarker, kind of feel where you are. And again, these workouts can be as intense as you want them to be. So even if you're somebody who's been lifting for a long time and you know the exercises, great. Like now is the perfect time, now is the perfect time to try and push your weights. You know, you don't have to think about the program, you have somebody else building it for you. Now you can just show up and push hard. So I hope you enjoyed day 1, all about shoulders. Day 2 is going to be all over body, and then day 3 is all body weight and cardio. Okay, bye.